Hello everyone! Today we're playing Before the Storm, my newest release. Before the Storm is a solo RPG that puts you in the final moments right before a high-stakes stealthy operation. It can be an infiltration, a heist, or assassination. So you are there already in position, perched in the shadows, just waiting for the right moment to act. While you wait, you'll be plagued by memories, by assumptions, by fear, by all sorts of things that you hear, that you feel, that you see, or that you think. So it's an introspective game that focuses on those final moments while you're getting ready to get into action. The game is played with a standard deck of cards. You're pulling cards that direct you to prompts with something that you see, feel, think, or hear, followed by a leading question that prompts you for some sort of reflection. But that's not all. With the cards that you pick up, you're also playing a poker solitaire sort of puzzle variation, and you're aiming to get the highest possible poker hand. That poker hand will indicate by the end of the game what is the final state of your character right before the mission starts. And why is that? Well, you can play this game as a standalone adventure, just by itself. You have some prompts to create the scenario, some ideas about your character, what's important about the mission, and so on. But you can also play it as a plug-and-play experience. Let's say you're playing a campaign of any other system in any other setting, and you're right before a stealthy operation. What you can do is you pick up Before the Storm and you insert this game. It takes about an hour to play, so you can have this moment of zooming in the tension before the action. I've designed it as a solo experience, but I can see it being played as a cooperative experience too. If you're like a gang of thieves or a party trying to get into some place, and you can share these prompts around and reflect about what's going on. As you place the cards and you see how your odds are shaping up, you start to let those odds shape how you interpret the prompts that the cards are giving you. So yeah, you have some strategy in the mechanics part of the things. You can even play the mechanical part as its own puzzle-like poker game, which is quite fun, but it interweaves with the prompts. So in a way, narrative and mechanics are influencing each other. The game is currently crowdfunding. You can find a link in the description, but it's practically done. I have what is essentially the final PDF here that we'll be using to play the game today. And you can follow along and see how it's shaping up, see if it's your thing. If by the time you watch this video and the campaign is over, you will find it on my H page. The link will be updated below as well. So, without further ado, let's play it. Well, how do you play it? As I said, you need a standard deck of cards, jokers removed, and a surface 1 by 1 meter or 3 by 3 feet, more or less, so that you can arrange the cards as you play. Or alternatively, you can play online. I'm using here screentop.gg. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check it out. This particular version has one joker, but you can just, if you draw it, you can ignore it and just move along, okay? It's free, by the way. Now, what you do is you shuffle your cards, draw one card. Depending on the suit, it will refer to one of 4 different categories. Hearts reflect what you feel, so emotion, touch, temperature, instinct. Clubs reflect what you think, so memories, doubts, internal dialogue. Diamonds reflect what you see, and spades reflect what you hear. You grab the card, that card will direct you to a table, and in that table you'll have a prompt and a question to help with your reflection. Since I have the PDF open, let me go ahead and skim through it so you can take a look at how it's shaping up. I really enjoy the graphic design for this one. Check it out. Here's the cover, contents, intro. So there's an overview. Here is how you build your character in case you're playing it as a standalone. There are prompts to help you figure out the setting and the character. And then when you play, here are the instructions on how to play the poker puzzle-like solitaire game that I came up with. and then the prompts for feel, think, see, and hear. In the end, you have, depending on the final hand that you have, you go to this table, and the higher your poker hand, the better prepared you feel for the mission ahead. If you're playing it as a plug and play, you can even grant your character some sort of mechanical advantage depending on your system, like bonus dice or a modifier advantages, more resources. And if your hand is too bad, you can even grant some penalties like complications or loss of resources or anything of the sort. And that's pretty much it. It's a short game in terms of rules, like 36 pages, but I'm pretty confident it can offer you a very nice introspective experience that you can even journal, record, or simply daydream. Now, here we're playing it as a standalone version. So for that, I'll start by building the setting, the scenario, and the character first. It's only 4 questions, and all you have to do is draw a card for each of the questions, refer to the table, and get your answer, all right? If you don't like it, you can tweak it, even because the prompts, they tend towards a specific setting. So there can be prompts that lean more towards modern settings, others more medieval or Regents era, or even cyberpunk. So if you're not in the mood for one of those, you can pick and choose, adapt, and do it whatever you like, all right? So the first question that we have to answer is, who are you in the shadows? So this is gonna be like a small description of your character, okay? So you draw a card. For this part, you ignore the suit, only the rank is important, okay? I have here a Queen of Spades, and then you refer to the table. So who are you in the shadows? Queen, ignore the suit. Queen says, you wear a lacquered mask with a neutral face. Beneath it, no one knows who you are, not even you. Okay, I like this a lot, especially because it doesn't give a specific setting, so it's more open to interpretation. Depending on the rest of the other answers, I can shape it up a little bit more, but it already points towards someone that has a mystery in the past, someone that perhaps is afraid to face their own reality for some reason, and I think that's beautiful. Now let's answer the second question. What goes down tonight? That pretty much is the summary of what's the nature of your mission, all right? You're in position. The place breathes with secrets. You came for something or someone. It starts soon. All right, let's grab a card. It is an 8. So let's see. Someone's will shall be stained red tonight, and you are the instrument. Okay, so this is clearly, well, I interpret it as a assassination. The prompts are vague on purpose because you have room to interpret them. Someone's will, I'm perhaps the literal will, I'm thinking. So if the will will be stained red, am I killing the person or perhaps one of their heirs? Both are interesting situations. Or perhaps it's someone that is interested in getting into the will of this person, and I was hired to avoid that from happening by eliminating this person. Still don't know. Things are shaping up. Now the third question, what's at stake for you? So the mission is something that you have to do. Perhaps you are closely related to it or not, but in this case, perhaps you were hired to do so. But in this question, we define how things get more personal, right? What makes this mission matter to you? Why this job right now? Okay, let's grab another card. This is a 3. I owe someone. This is me paying the debt. Okay, I see. Oh, so I think perhaps the person that I owe it to is one of the possible heirs to this rich person that I'm talking about. And my debt now, I'm paying this debt by eliminating another heir, perhaps a sibling or a spouse. That's dark. Yeah, we can go with that. And the final question, to make things interesting right from the get-go, is what wasn't in the plan? You're in position, but something's already off. Something you didn't account for. something that might shift everything. So before it even starts, this moment before action, you already notice that something isn't going according to plan. And we're going to define what it is right now. That's a 7. 7 says, you nearly ran into someone on your way in. They didn't see you, probably. Okay. Ooh, the mark perhaps, the heir themselves, or the parent, the one whose will we are talking about. Yeah, that would be fun, huh? So let's put it all together. Let's say I have a friend of sorts in a high position, very rich, which is this guy. Let's call him William, right? This William guy used his influence and power at some point in the past to get me out of trouble, perhaps like bail me out of jail for some reason. And his father, Theodore, he was a widower and he got married again to this woman, Veronica. And my friend William doesn't like her, thinks that she doesn't love him really, and she's just, trying to get the money. And he wanted me to eliminate Veronica. So Veronica is my mark. So I'm doing this pro bono, actually, to pay his debts that I had with my friend William. And Theodore will have his newest wife being assassinated tonight if everything goes to plan. So I think since there is no indication of a period within any of the prompts that I got, I want to place it in like the 1800s. So we are, let's say, we need a last name like Darrington. Darrington. Okay, we are at the Darrington's Manor. So it's this posh luxury mansion. We infiltrated and we are waiting for the moment to act. I don't have like a sniper rifle or anything because of the time period. So what would be my method? Well, I can think more of it as the prompts come up so we can adapt accordingly. But yeah, so here I am, ready. It's late at night. I'm hiding in the shadows somewhere and I'm waiting for the moment to strike and take Veronica down. See, quite simple. 4 cards and you have a whole scenario ready to be explored during play. Now you shuffle those cards back and you're ready to start the gameplay. All right, let's see what the first prompt is. 7 of spades. So now we go to the book, grab spades, and see what the prompt is. Spades refer to something that I hear. All right, so what do I hear? 7. Thunder rose across the distance, sharp then gone. What promise did you make in a storm like this? And have you broken it yet? Ooh, okay. So I think we see my character with a mask perched behind like a bush in this luxurious garden right in front of the manor. It is a cloudy night, but then we hear this thunder and we cut to a small flashback because like let's say that we focus on the face, the masked face of this individual as they look up, and we cut to a cabin in the woods, and we are seeing it POV so that we don't reveal the actual face of this person yet. This person, my character, I mean. So we are seeing like a kid, a boy, and we're like having fun camping of some sort, and then a thunderstorm approaches and we run into the cabin. We hear my character saying, "Don't worry, I will always protect you." And the kid says, "You promise?" And my character says, "Of course, I wouldn't lie to you." And I think I did lie. I think for some reason I wasn't there to protect this kid, perhaps a child of mine. We might discover this in the future. I don't know if they were killed or lost or I abandoned them for some reason. So, okay, a first flashback tells a story of a tragic past, perhaps connected to the mask for some reason. Juicy. Excellent. Now, we draw the second card and we repeat the process. However, now is when the mechanics engage. You see, when you draw the next card, you have to place it adjacent to the last card you played. Adjacent, for the purpose of this game, is any horizontal, vertical, or even diagonal spot available around this card. So if it's the first card, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible positions. Now, how do you decide where to put it? Remember, you're trying to come up with the highest possible poker hand so that in the end you're well prepared for the mission ahead. So what you have to do is when you draw another card, you start to think of the possible poker hands that you can form with it. And if you feel that those cards go well together, you might go ahead and put it, for example, oh, I'm going to try a straight here, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, or 6, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, there is potential for that. I'm going to put it here. Or perhaps you see, I don't see too much of a relationship yet, so I'll leave the horizontal that is easier to see free, and I'll put this diagonally here, and I don't want to mess up with this this possible hand here because it's not well related yet. So you at the beginning, let's say if I had drawn a card that was of spades as well, I could place it here and say, oh, I'm going for a flush. I have two cards of the same suit, so there's a chance of a flush. I'm going straight here. So you see, you have to make these decisions strategically because you're aiming for a 5-card poker hand and you want the strongest hand possible. So let's say I'll put it right here, and perhaps there is a chance of building a straight as we draw more cards, okay? After you place it, you go to the prompt and repeat the process. So 10 of clubs. Clubs is what you think. 10 says, you remember a rule you made for yourself. What is it, and why are you suddenly tempted to break it? Already. Let's see. Let's say that after I hear the thunder, I move my gaze towards the windows of this manor, and I see there's movement, and perhaps there's more people, perhaps they have guests. And I've made a rule for myself that I would never take down a target in front of innocent people. I always wait for the person to be isolated and alone to do so. But it seems that they are having an event, and I owe this debt to William, and I might have to take Veronica down in front of their guests, which is horrible. Especially because I'm still afraid that Veronica might have seen me on my way in, so I don't want to overextend my stay here, be waiting too much. I wanted to do it and get out as soon as possible, right? Makes sense. Okay, next card. It's a 10 of spades. Oh, that's good. All right, so again, remember, I have to place it adjacent to the last card I played. I can't put it over the 7, of course, so I have the 7 possible spaces available around here. So what I could do is I'll leave this horizontal potentially for a straight that might come up, and I'll place the other 10 here. I already have a potential pair, and it is a long shot, but there is a diagonal flush here that might come up. But it's hard to make diagonal hands, but in any case, that's what I'm gonna do. So it's a pair. Now, what you can do is you translate your optimism as a player, seeing the odds shaping up towards you, to the optimism of your character. So let's say I already have a potential pair here, and I have a flush in the diagonal forming up. So I'm feeling a bit optimistic. Now, as I read through the next prompt, I might, if I want to, I might leak this optimism into the interpretation of the prompt itself and answer accordingly. You see what I mean? And if things start to collapse, like my hands start to collapse, I do the opposite. I start to show doubt, fear, anxiety through the answers of the prompts. Mind you, most of the questions are made to make you feel agitated, so the stakes are higher. So it might be hard for you to interpret them in an optimistic kind of lenses, but in any case, you can try and do that. Let's see if I can. So 10 of spades. What do I hear? There's a hum. Machinery maybe. Familiar. Too familiar. What part of you wants to follow the sound instead of the plan? I have a wild idea here. Let's say we're placing this scenario in the late 1900s, so there is already the first cars. And I think on the day or the night that I perhaps lost my child somehow, it was, I don't know how, I've heard for the first time the engine sound of a car. It was something very new for me. And I hear it again here. And this triggers this memory to me. I really feel like going after that because irrationally I connected these two events. Is there a slight possibility that I find the responsible for my missing child somehow? Obviously not. So I bring it back my senses and I say, focus on the task at hand. Those machines are more common now. They're getting everywhere. It could be anyone. It's not him. It's not your kid. So I calm down and I try to ignore the hum of an engine. Perhaps it's a very rich guest that is approaching, and I just have to be calm and stay in the shadows as they approach the entrance of the manor. That's pretty cool. All right, next card is a Jack of Clubs. Okay, so I can place it anywhere around here. Let's see, or it could be here. So, that helps with the potential straight. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. Yeah, right. So it's diagonal from the last card I placed, and it helps with the potential straight. Yeah, let's do this. What do I think now? Jack of Clubs, you catch yourself running through what you do after this. What's the first thing that comes to mind and why does it scare you? Oh, obviously, I want to investigate the engine sound. So why does it scare me? Well, in a multitude of ways. Of course, the first thing you should do is to leave the crime scene after you take someone down. And I would be prolonging my stay here. But more than that, I think I'm scared of facing the reality if I somehow discover what actually happened to my child. So perhaps I don't know if he's alive or not. And by following this trail, if by a miracle it is somehow connected to him, I might find out what happened to him. In a way that the benefit of the doubt is comforting somehow. So it's scary to face the truth. Cool. Next. A 3 of diamonds. That doesn't go with any of my hands at all. I'll put it diagonally over here. So there is one in potential diagonal here, 10 Jack, but that's a long shot. Or is it? Perhaps I can put it here then. Yeah, let's do that. So 3 of diamonds. Diamonds is something that you see. What did I see? The layout doesn't match what you memorized. What detail is out of place and how does it force you to adapt? So let's say I've never been here before. Actually, it was William that described the place to me, and he said, well, Veronica usually during the night goes to a balcony on the 3rd floor to get some air, perhaps smoke, and there's when you're gonna have the opportunity. So let's say I'm taking her down with a crossbow with a poison bolt just for good measure. But what he didn't mention is that this balcony is quite long and part of it goes through this sort of ballroom with very tall glass panels, so whoever is inside can see what's happening outside. So either I go with what I said previously, that I would have to break my rule and kill her in front of her guests, or I have to find a way to attract her to the corner of this balcony where she would be more secluded from the guests behind a wall, solid wall. But for that, I would have to come up with some sort of distraction. So yeah, there's that. Okay, next. An ace of hearts. Can place it here, perhaps. Not a very good chance, and I'm getting further away from my potential pairs, so I'm less confident now. So this might sip into the description of the prompts, but yeah, I think that's my best approach at the moment. An ace of hearts right here. Cool. Our first hearts. Hearts is something that you feel. Ace, your leg is cramping. You shift slightly, just slightly. Who paid the price the last time your body failed you? I'll keep that simple and tie back to my son, right? I think I had finished a mission in which I got hurt, and I was actually going to this short trip to recover. And someone appeared in this car, took him away, and I had the chance to fight back. But since I was still in recovery, I wasn't able to do so. And I feel this pain, and it fills me with guilt and shame. I've always been like a top performer, and when it came to actually protect my child, I failed. Cool, next. Oh, a 2 of diamonds. Okay. Should I go this way or this way? If I go here, I'm messing with this pair, but again, it brings me back to the potential of finishing a hand here. If I put this, I don't mess with other hands, but I'm moving the game to the right. And why is this important? A little break for a rules explanation. One thing that you have to take into account is your grid layout of cards here must always fit within an imaginary grid of 5 by 5 cards. What I mean by that? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the horizontal limit. If I, by any chance, place another card to the right of this 2, I would go over 5. So the grid shifts to this direction, and whatever cards that are left out of the grid are removed. So let's say I place another card here, then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 7 is out of the grid. I have to remove it and discard the 7. So any plans that I had for this 7 will be eliminated. So this counts as well for the vertical limit. You can only have a maximum of 5 rows and 5 columns at any point. All right. If you expand beyond that, the cards that are left behind get eliminated. So this is a choice that you have to make. Take this into account. Okay. I'm thinking I'm gonna leave it here. I have ace 2, 3, a possible straight, have a pair of 10s and a 2. Perhaps I have a chance of getting another 2 or another 10 and placing it here, and a potential trio, which is not bad. Yeah, it depends on the cards really, but for now, I'll place it here. 2 of diamonds. What do I see? You catch your reflection in a surface, unexpected, imperfect. What do your eyes reveal that your posture hides? So let's assume that my mask has cuts for the eyes, right? And there is a puddle of water next to me. Perhaps it rained earlier today. And as I look down, I see my reflection and I see a tiredness in my eyes. Like a tiredness not of this day specifically, but of this life that I just, after my son disappearing, I just kept doing it because that's the only thing I knew, and there's the only thing left that I was good at. I convinced myself that I wasn't a good parent. I'm now considering that my days as a professional assassin are nearly over, and questioning if I am still in the best form that I can, if I'm ready to do this once more tonight. All right, we're getting close, or not, I don't know. Next card. A 4. Okay, good, good, good. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's very good. I'll place it right here. Of course, if I get it straight, that would be awesome. I highly doubt it, but well, a 4 of clubs. It's a thought. Someone once told you not to follow this path. Who were they? And why does their voice surface now? My dad. I think he was a master assassin in his time. I discovered that when I was a teen, and I insisted to be trained in that. And he warned me that if I chose this path, I would have to give up on a lot of things. And he was a very distant father, someone I didn't have a father figure, but after I insisted and got admitted into this guild, I started respecting him for his professional skills. I lacked this presence of a father, and now that I saw the pattern repeating with my son, I had promised myself that it wouldn't be the same, that I would be present and I would be there for him. And I was trying to do that before that happened. And now my father voice resonates once more after I see my tired eyes in a puddle. Perhaps we see a scene of I'm looking at this puddle, seeing my reflection, and my reflection shifts towards the image of my father talking to me and saying that, kid, you will have to give up on too many things, and the people you love might be at risk. And now perhaps I understand that his absence might be because he was trying to protect us. If he would be too close, his enemies might find us and connect us to his job, and they would take revenge upon us, which actually happened to me later on when I decided to do differently. Dramatic, okay. However, I'm close to straight, so there's a part of me that thinks that I can do it right, I can fix this, right? Since I have a straight here, that I can prove to myself, to my dad, and to my son that I have made mistakes, but that I can put things into order, and that I'm good at what I do. And by being good at what I do, I can, if I can't get my son back, I can take revenge at least. Sounds cool, right? Okay. Let's hope for a 5. Let's hope for a 5. It is a 7. Okay. Well, I can place this 7 here, give up on a potential straight, at least have a pair, and if a 5 comes up next, I can still place it on the top here. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on the grid limit. If I place a card to the left of this 7, this ace here on the other side has to be discarded because it's going to be beyond the limits. That's a risk that I have to take. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, it's another thought. You start revising plan B in your head again. What part of you secretly wants plan A to fall apart? So plan A is shooting her with a crossbow. If I miss it, the bolt will like crash through windows and cause a mess, cause a disturbance. Plan B would be to take advantage of the chaos and try to infiltrate the manor and hide there while they search the gardens, perhaps, and try to take her down inside. The part of me that wants Plan A to fail is that since I've heard the car and there is a guest here that I'm trying to connect with the disappearance of my child, I want to be there. I want to see this person and I want to find out who they are, right? So there is a slight thought in my mind saying, what if I miss on purpose? What if I just infiltrate and go there and see it with my eyes? What if I corner this person and ask where my son is? Okay, this coming is crossing my mind right now. That's interesting. All right. Okay, so this is technically the last chance that I have to get a straight here. Otherwise, I'm just going to be in another place of the grid. I'll miss this opportunity. So let's see what happens. It is a 9. Ah, damn it. Okay, a 9 of spades. That's too bad. Well, I messed up with my straight here, so there's no point on putting the 9 here, even because if I did, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The game ends as soon as you form a line of 5 cards, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. The game immediately ends, and that's your hand. You have to deal with that. So I want to place it down here. There's a 9 and a 10. If I want to do this straight here, I'll have to move my cards around and find my way back up here, which is a long shot. Anyway, let's see what goes here. I think I might end up with this pair, and that's pretty much it. Well, I don't know. If I get another 10 or a jack or even a 7, I'll place a card here, end it, and get like 2 pairs or at least a trio of a kind. That's good enough. For now, the 9 is here. Let's see the 9 of spades, what it says. You hear your own breath louder than you'd like. What technique do you use to calm yourself, and who taught it to you? Oh, of course, my father did, right? The master assassin that I admired. And the technique is like a body check. Like I go from my toes, feeling the shoes tightening my toes, and then going up to the pants, feeling the fabric against my skin, like sensory grounding, gripping my gear, gripping my weapon, having a feeling of the weight of my coat over me. I slowly try to control my breath and be present and balanced. For some reason, after that thought of making plan A fail, I got really nervous, and I see perhaps the chance of a clean job slipping away, and my breath caught up faster and faster, and that's why I had to get back to this technique and ground myself in the present moment. Next, it is a 2 of hearts. Very bad card. I don't want this at all. I'll place it here, diagonally from the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Okay, that's good. The air is thick with something floral, almost sweet. What memory does that scent pull from you, and how does it shake your focus? So I'm doing this exercise, breathing exercise, so I'm breathing deeply, and that's how I think I grasp some of the scents of the flowers of the garden. The lady of the night, you know, that flower that smells in the night. So I grabbed this strong scent from the garden itself. I'm reminded of the night my wife left us. So I was a single father from a point on. I think she was trying to sneak out during the night. Well, I'm a trained assassin, so I heard what she was doing, and I went outside, and the scent of the lady of the night was present. She was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't live with what you do any longer. And when I look at you, I look at to all the victims, and I look at our kid. I see too much of you in him, and I can't take it any longer. And she just laughed, right? So that's why it shakes my focus, of course. All right, next card, let's see. Come on. 7. Oh, damn. Now I'm far away from this. That's too bad. Well, I can place it here. So I have another potential pair here and a potential straight shaping up here. That would be good enough. 7 of diamonds says, there's a message scratched into the wall near you. What does it say, and why does it feel like it's meant for you? I think right next to me there is like those very short walls that they use to delimitate some parts of gardens, you know, those fancy ones. It's a stone wall. And there is a scribble that's someone, probably a younger kid, with a stone kind of carved into the wall. And it just simply says, I was here. And I feel that it was meant for me to remind me that I've been shifting my focus from the situation and I might leave a trace. So when I see that and say, I was here, or I think, what am I doing that I'm not paying attention to, that if people come to investigate, they might connect to me. So I look around and see if I didn't step on the mud, on that puddle, if they didn't break any branches of this bush. So I'm suddenly more aware of my situation here and paying attention to the potential trails that I leave behind. So suddenly this message just wakes me up a bit and, okay, focus. What are you doing? Pay attention to your surroundings. Don't mess this up. All right, next. Six of clubs. Okay. Damn. I can't play. I have to place it only either here. Oh, this is good. Or here. 6, 7, 9. Okay. Okay, 6, 7, 9 is good. I'll place it here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. We're safe for now. 6 of clubs. You think of someone who doesn't know where you are. What would you say to them if you thought they'd hear it? I think my wife, in this case, because it was my most recent memory, I don't think she cares. Well, there's no way for me to know. But I would say that I'm sorry that our kid made her remind of me. I didn't want the things that I did to get in the way of her love towards my child. I feel like that's my fault. So I'd say just, I'm sorry about that. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting close. 2. Oh, god damn it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna end this here. Why? Because if I place it down here, let me zoom out a bit. As you can see, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 card hand, and it is 2 pairs. 2 pairs is not really good, actually. It's the third worst possible hand. But for the purpose of the time of this demonstration and the way that my odds are shaping up, I think it's good enough. If you're playing this, you can always go around, and as you go beyond the 5x5 grid limit, you start discarding cards and you can keep pushing it until you're kind of satisfied with a possible hand. There is no guarantee that you're gonna get it. You might end up with a terrible hand in the end. Well, yeah, you have this strategic choice. Should I risk it? Should I eliminate potential poker hands that I have shaping up in another place so that I can invest on what is at stake here? Or should I just call it a day and it's not gonna get any better than that and just end it here? So I'll say that, I'll call it a day. It's a pair of 7s and a pair of 2. It's 2 pairs. So what it means is we end this game on the threshold in the exact second right before action. This is the last thing that you feel and that you do before you make your move, right? So what you do is you get your final hand, you go to the table, and you see what that represents. All right, let's do it. Final hand. So high card, 1 pair, 2 pair. Some moments steadied you, others left cracks. But you've patched something together, enough to feel a rhythm beneath the nerves. You don't know how you'll feel on the other side. You just know it's time. So I think we see my character finishing the breathing exercise and remembering his wife, and I think he brings his crossbow to his forehead and says in a whisper, I'm sorry that he turned out this way. And he hears Veronica's voice on the balcony. He turns around, places his crossbow over the bush, takes aim, and we sharp cut to black as we hear just the bolt releasing, but we don't see where it lands. Did I miss? Did I miss on purpose? Did I just do the job? I don't know. And that's it. What you can do here, if you're playing standalone, you can choose your favorite system and actually play out what happens next, or leave it as a cliffhanger like the pilot of a TV series. Or if you're playing as plug and play, this would be the moment that you translate the results of this playthrough into either bonuses or penalties. In this case, let's say 2 pair is okay-ish. In the most beneficial of the situations, I would say it was neutral, so I wouldn't apply any bonuses or penalties, but you do you. And that's Before the Storm. That's the game. A very introspective, reflective, and also tactical game that lets you investigate more of perhaps a character that already exists, or even create a dramatic background for a character that you won't play afterwards. If not, it's a standalone experience, a very fulfilling one as it is, paired together with a puzzle-like poker solitaire kind of gameplay, which I think you appreciate. Once more, the game is still crowdfunding, the link's down below. If you're seeing this in the future, you can get it on my H page, and all my patrons get all my releases for free. The link is also in the description. Thanks again, and I see you on the next one.